There is a reason confident people walk into a room and change it without saying much. People listen faster. They doubt them less. They follow their lead before they even realize it. And the disturbing part is this: confidence is not just about how you feel. It is a signal that tells other people, this person knows something I don't. But here is the twist. Most people think confidence comes from competence. The truth is, sometimes competence comes second. First comes the appearance of certainty. And once you understand that, you will never look at confidence the same way again. Because confidence does something strange to the human mind. It does not just make you seem stronger. It makes other people psychologically easier to move. Humans are constantly looking for cues. We look for safety. We look for leadership. We look for certainty. When someone looks unsure, the brain treats that uncertainty as risk. When someone looks calm and solid, the brain treats that as structure. That is why confidence feels powerful. Not because it is loud, because it reduces tension in other people. And when tension goes down, trust goes up. That is the first dark truth. People often obey the person who makes them feel least confused, not the smartest person, not always the best person, the person who seems most certain. Now here is where it gets darker. Confidence does not only attract trust, it can also silence resistance. Think about it. If one person speaks with hesitation, people challenge them. If another speaks with calm certainty, people often assume there must be a reason. That is the trap. The mind likes confidence so much that it sometimes mistakes it for truth. Which means a confident liar can feel more believable than an honest but nervous person. This is why confident people are often given influence before they earn it. In groups, confidence creates an invisible hierarchy. The person who speaks clearly, takes space, and does not rush tends to feel more dominant. And dominance changes how others behave. People interrupt them less. They second-guess themselves more. They unconsciously wait for that person to set the tone. It is not magic, it is social psychology. Your brain is constantly asking, who has the strongest internal frame in this room? And confidence answers that question before words even matter. But confidence alone is not enough. If it feels fake, people sense that too. So what actually separates believable confidence from obvious arrogance? That is the next layer. Because the most influential people do not act like they need approval. They act like approval is optional. Real confidence has 3 parts. First, it is slow. Confident people do not rush their words or their reactions. Second, it is stable. They do not collapse emotionally every time something small goes wrong. Third, it is selective. They do not explain everything. That last one matters more than people realize. When someone leaves small gaps in what they say, the listener starts filling those gaps mentally. And that creates engagement, attention, and even submission. The brain hates unfinished structure. It wants closure. So when a confident person speaks in a controlled way, others lean in to complete the pattern. That is one reason confidence feels magnetic. It creates tension and then withholds release. And now we get to the part most people never notice. Confidence can become a form of control, not because the confident person attacks anyone, but because other people begin to organize themselves around that person's certainty. They wait, they defer, they adapt, and the more consistently someone shows certainty, the more other people start treating that certainty like authority. That is why the same sentence can land differently depending on who says it. A nervous person saying, "This is the best choice," sounds like an opinion. A confident person saying the same thing can sound like a decision. And here is the biggest mistake people make when they try to copy confidence. They try to look powerful instead of being centered. Fake confidence is loud. It overexplains. It demands attention. Real confidence does the opposite. It is quiet enough to feel controlled. People often think confidence means dominating the room, but in reality, the strongest confidence often looks almost boring at first. No nervous filler words, no frantic approval seeking, no need to prove anything. That calmness is what changes the room, because when you stop chasing validation, other people feel the gap, and they begin to fill it with their own attention. Here is the dark part. Confidence can be used ethically, or it can be used as a mask. A person with real self-possession can inspire trust, calm tension, and lead well. But a manipulative person can use the same signal to override doubt. They can speak with just enough certainty to make people ignore red flags. They can act composed enough to make their intentions harder to question. They can make their presence feel like a decision other people should accept. That is why confidence is dangerous. Not because it is evil, because it is persuasive. And the more uncertain people are, the more powerful certainty becomes. So the trait that makes people obey is not volume. It is not charisma alone. It is not looking impressive. It is the ability to project internal certainty so strongly that other people start adjusting their behavior around it. That is why confidence changes everything. It shapes trust. It shapes hierarchy. It shapes attraction. It shapes obedience. And once you see it clearly, you realize confidence is not just a personality trait. It is a psychological force. The next time someone walks into a room and everyone gets quiet, do not just ask what they said, ask what they projected. Because often the real power was there before the first word was spoken. If this made you rethink confidence, subscribe now, because this channel breaks down the hidden psychology behind power, influence, and human behavior.